Let's connect with Lalit Malik, the CFO of Torrent Power, to discuss that and lots more. Thanks so much for taking time out. Now, looking at that one-off, if we were to remove that, it was a healthy Q4, given that power demand as well remains rather buoyant. What is the outlook going forward in terms of your revenue growth projections for FY23?
Well, what we see is that our demand has come back at the pre-COVID level, and since economy is growing, we do see a steady growth in terms of the demand coming up. Although we do not comment on the future guidance, but what we have seen is there is a strong demand growth that is likely to come as we see.
Okay, let's move on. Let's tell you what the market has been up to, and after that initial rebound, where is it that we've settled down? I think it fizzled out pretty soon, because after that 16K level that we just had a touch and go moment with, from there we've cooled off quite significantly, 70 points off from that mark, in fact 15,932. Having said that, we're still clinging on to a over 100-point gain. Let's see how long this lasts. For now, things look okay. The breath as well is in the positive. Let's address power then, and we have with us Lalit Malik from Torrent Power joining in on the show right now. Lalit, hi, good morning. Good to have you on the show. I'm just going through your Q4 numbers, and X of the one-off, it seems like there was good power demand. That clearly remains buoyant. What's the outlook then that you have, Lalit, for both demand as well as revenue growth in FY23?
Sure. I think what we have seen is that our demand has come back to pre-COVID level, and also in view of the strong economy rebound after the lockdown, we do see strong growth potential in the coming months, though we cannot give any future guidance. But currently the way we see is that the demand is strengthening, and that's what we expect going forward in future.
Are gas prices a complete pass-through for you? Just wanted to understand how things function.
Yes, it is a pass-through for us as far as the gas prices is concerned. Therefore, our margins do not get impacted in material.
Also wanted to understand, you've expanded your presence in the T&D business. What then is the trend for reduction of T&D losses, and whether or not are you bidding for other geographies?
Sure. We have recently acquired Daman and Diu, DGEN, and what we have seen also is that the T&D losses are gradually coming down. When we looked at Bhiwandi, it has come down from 16.22 to 11.64%. In Agra, from 13.5 to 12.1%. SMK, again, we have just taken over, so it's high right now at 44.84, but has come down to 40.48. So gradually, we have seen that T&D losses are coming down, and going forward also through our better control and efficiency, we do expect that the T&D losses will keep going down at a steady pace.
Good morning. I know Avan and Aisha both asked you this. I'd like to focus a little bit more about you, because that's what the street will also want to know. Trends in electricity consumption. It's not just the heat wave, which will lead to higher demand, peak, maybe surpassing other peaks, but just the entire reopening trade. The fact that, you're starting to see manufacturing, etc., all make a comeback, right? How is the power sector equipped for that demand? The power minister keeps saying that all is well. We will see 24/7 supply. That there is no shortage. That coal companies have also been told to give more raw material to power companies as well.
Well, what we see is that you are absolutely right. Considering the economy is on a growing path, the demand is steadily increasing, and the lockdown is behind us now. So that is a positive from the economic front point of view, and also due to the recent heat waves, the consumption per se is going up. So that's adding up to the demand side. Having said that, there is a gap between demand and supply. I think what our ministers talked about is more than 200 gigawatt consumption. So there is currently a gap in terms of the volume as well as in terms of the pricing. So therefore, this gap to some extent will continue till all the actions are in place to reduce the gap or eliminate the gap. We do expect in the short run the demand supply gap will have some impact at least for the short term period.
So what kind of an impact? We're talking in still mid-May with the heat wave on. We keep hearing voices also about how clarion calls are being made to the government to try and improve the coal situation, domestic coal situation, increase imports as well.
Right. So I think, as I said, that the consumption currently is more than 200 gigawatt, and our capacity is not to that extent as far as country is concerned. But as far as Torrent is concerned, due to our proper planning and efficiency, we have been able to supply 100% in terms of the electric demand requirement. And we do expect that with all our efforts, we'll be able to meet the requirement. Having said that, the gap is there, as I just mentioned, about demand and supply, and also in view of the pricing, considering the Ukraine war and Russia war, the prices are also causing a little pain in the market. So I think that's the gap between demand and supply we do see at an overall country level. At least for some time to come, till the supply is restored, although all actions are being taken to increase the supply. And we believe that all those actions will certainly yield result, and we'll be able to meet up the growing demand. And also the focus on renewable will also ease out the pressure as we go. So all these efforts and also the gearing up of capacity expansion, the increased demand is likely to be met, but it will take some time before we'll be able to match up the two.
You've also announced a capital outlay plan of about 1,000 crore rupees. This is over the next few years. Where would this be deployed, and how do you plan to fund this?
Yeah, so as I just mentioned, we have just taken over Dadra and Nagar Haveli distribution, and apart from that, we also have in Dholera, where we are going to invest around 1,000 crores of the outlay in next 5 to 7 years. In addition to that, in our existing distribution network, both in license as well as in franchise, we are going to invest around 1,500 crores. So in all, around 2,500 crores is what we are going to invest in the years to come.
Thank you for sharing with us the growth outlook for the company, as well as giving us a sense as to how the power demand is shaping up. Just a quick glance at the equity markets, because 16K is not being sustained. We're still in the green by about 100 points or so. The broader markets as well holding out, but names like Bharti Airtel, Wipro, TCS, ICICI Bank, as well as HDFC Bank and Maruti, they're in the soft lane.